Well, I have my notes here, and I was hoping this crowd, out of all of them, would be gracious about memory, because I don't have a good one. So, we're going to do something just a little bit different, because you don't want to hear me sing. So I'm going to tell a couple jokes, if that's all right. I don't know how many of you have noticed how many of us cough in church, like even before COVID was a thing, like especially right after we finish a song, it's just one big congregational cough. And sometimes it doesn't even sound like a cough, it's just like a, you know, like just, the spirit is willing, it really is, but the body has bronchitis or something. You know, when we were born again, were we born into new life or pneumonia? Because we are not sounding too hot over here. It could just be an allergic reaction to the plastic forest that is our pulpit. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. One time I thought I heard a service dog like barking in the middle of a sermon, but it was just someone sneeze. But I don't know if you ever get the urge to sneeze and then you have this panic that just washes over you because you have to decide, you have to make some decisions like, who am I more comfortable sneezing on? Is it the guest to my left or is it the old lady to my right? Because she looks really frail and I might just blow her away. But it's also hard to disguise a sneeze as anything other than a sneeze. You can't just be like, Hallelujah, amen, hallelujah. Speaking in tongues, I guess, I don't know. And why is it though, when we baptize a group of people, there's always one person who holds their hand over their like mouth and nose the whole time, because it just kind of reads as, I don't trust the pastor. Like, they're afraid that you're gonna dunk them mid-sentence or something. Has that ever happened? Just be like, say, it is upon your confession of faith that we, you know, just splash. And some people are so scared, they probably hold their nose the whole time if they could, just like, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. If he can save you from the eternal weight of your sin, I'm pretty sure he can save you from that 3.5 feet of water in our baptism. If not, you might have accepted the wrong Jesus. That's all I'm saying. Talk to our people. But this is a really cool group. Thank you guys for letting me do this. I know it's a little different, but I admire you guys, you know? Spice of life. Because I just feel like when I get to be y'all's age, I won't feel very spicy. I'll feel kind of more like the gravy mix of life, you know? Dry, dehydrated, off color. Just a poor excuse for the real thing, maybe. But I feel like I'm familiar with old people. Like I get y'all's MO. I'm the youngest in my family. My parents waited a little bit to have kids, so they're a little older. And then they're the youngest in their family, so my grandparents are like really old. But yeah, I feel like I get y'all's MO. Like I know why you watch the news all the time. You have it on 24/7, all the way up in volume. So that you can answer all of those questions that a medical professional would ask in case there's an emergency. You know, the important stuff like, what year is it? Who is the president? And what did Jennifer Aniston wear at the Met Gala? There's the important questions you need to know. But my family's getting older. I don't know why I said that like no one else's family's getting older. But yeah, we're getting a little bit older, but we haven't quite crossed that line of like old yet, mainly because I keep pushing it back every year just a little farther, because I don't really know what constitutes old, but I'm starting to think it might be when you're in the shower and you think, can I be done yet? My feet hurt and I want to sit down. You might now understand why I keep pushing that line of old back farther and farther, because some of y'all have little chairs in your shower. But once you commit to the chair, I just feel like you're, one step away from thinking, sponge bath is probably good enough, I wouldn't want to mess up my perm, if I had one, anyway. But, like I said, my family isn't old, but we have started claiming our health problems as if they're territories or kingdoms in need of defense. Like, your back hurts, how dare you? That is my thing. As if you both can't have back pain at the same time. Like, oh, I am the king of feet problems. How dare you come at me with your petty peasantry foot problems? Like, I don't know why we're so selfish with that. I guess, there's only so much sympathy to go around, and you wouldn't want to waste it on the neighboring kingdoms. I don't know. I actually do have scoliosis. I feel like I should say that just to kind of prove my old people card here. And for those of you who don't know what scoliosis is, basically, most people's spines go like this. Mine goes like this. Like highways, most people, mine's like country roads, just take me home. Because of that, I had to do physical therapy, which, shocker there, I was the only one there my age. It was me and like a bunch of hip and knee replacement patients in their 60s, just on those warm-up bikes, have a good old time, talk about what Jennifer Aniston's wearing. But one time, my physical therapist, he says to me, "Do those shoes fit you?" Which I thought was a really bizarre question, because it assumes one of two things. It either assumes that I am poor or stupid. Poor because I can't afford new shoes in the correct size, or stupid because I bought shoes in the wrong size on purpose. I normally wear those 9s, but those 5.5s, I want to try them on. They look uncomfortable. I like that, But yeah, he asked me that. I didn't know what to say, being the weirdo that I am that buys the right shoe size. I was just like, yeah, they fit. So he looks at me and says, "Oh, well, you have really big feet then." He's a medical professional. He probably sees a lot of feet and he thinks mine are big. So I didn't know what to say. I just looked at him straight in the face and I was like, "Thank you." But yeah, I feel like I get old people that are familiar with y'all's lifestyle a little bit, but there are some things that I don't understand. Like when I'd visit my grandparents in the hospital, there'd be these dome-shaped mirrors in the hallways and the corridors and stuff, and I don't get why they're necessary. Especially for the non-emergency floors. How fast are they going down those halls with the patients? Just push them into wheelchairs watch your feet, Frank, and good luck. Is that why the hospital socks have little grippers on them? It's like a skirt, like a break. Do some gurneys have roll cages and I'm just not aware? I don't know. I think the doctors and nurses around just a little too tight if they are just careening down the hallways, just give them 50 cc's of epinephrine and don't forget the rolly drip bag this time. I hope that they're not calling your IV a rolly drip bag. If they are, and they're breaking the gurney speed limit, you should go to a different hospital. You would probably get better care from physical therapist who thinks you have clown feet. Just my suggestion. But yeah, I don't know if this is a Southern thing or just a thing people born before 1970 would say. But when I ask, "Hey, what time is it?" they'll say, "Oh, it's 1/4 till." 1/4 till what? Because if I knew what time it was, why would I ask you? We don't do it with other stuff "Oh, hey, how much gas do you have?" "Oh, I have 1/4 till." 1/4 till full or 1/4 till empty? Why would I ask you if I knew? "Oh, how much is that chair?" "It's almost expensive." Why so big? Just tell me, please. But yeah, there is one other thing while we're at it. Can anyone here explain to me the difference between a left turn and a left-hand turn? Why hand? Is that a steering wheel thing? Driving? Okay, if you're driving, it's a left-hand turn. If you're walking, it's a left foot turn? Where's your bathroom? "Oh, it's down the hall," and then you just take a left foot turn. If you have to whisper something to someone, is that a left cheek lean? Too far? Sorry. But yeah, I'll go ahead and finish up. I'll end by telling you a little bit about myself. One of my goals. I would love to be as tan as Band-Aids think that I should be. Because they say skin color, but I have never matched one of those a day in my life. The skin of what? A Floridian woman? Or her pet alligator, because some of those things are rougher than sandpaper. I do think this is why, though, that they invented those shirts that they don't have shirt right here. What are they called? Peekaboo shoulder, peekaboo shirts? I don't know the scientific name for them. But I think they were invented to even out farmers' tans. Just, hit the troubled spots and call it fashion, But no, it's not fashion. I'm not trying to even out the palest part of my body, fashion. My doctor also doubles as a pediatrician, so if I ever have to go to his office for a shot or something, the only kind of Band-Aids that he has are like Paw Patrol and Tinkerbell and Tweety Bird, Disney princesses, stuff like that. And it's really hard to feel mature walking out of the office with like Tweety Bird on your arm, because Band-Aids are not something that people ignore. They always ask about it, like they have the right to know your pain, And so I can't waltz into a job interview with Tweety Bird and they'll just be like, all right, Ellie, your resume looks good here, but what happened to your arm there? Well, I went to the doctor and the nurse gave me a boo-boo, so I went to get sick and now I have Tweety Bird on my arm. Like, that's not gonna fly. I just want something a little more age appropriate, so people can be like, hey man, what happened to your arm? Oh, sorry, I had to get a shot, but like, you see that number right there? That's my credit score. A cha-ching. All right, that's all I got. Thank you guys.